I have been here for about 21 years, serving in the district court, doing juvenile domestic matters. So I see a lot of cases involving children. That's basically what the magistrates do, is anything that involves children. So we have been using various techniques to try to help people pay their support, get set up, make sure that they have employment and can support their children to their fullest extent and avoid being sanctioned or jailed or penalties imposed because they didn't pay their child support. When someone comes into the non-support court, that is usually because things have gone terribly, terribly wrong. Usually by the time it is coming in on a non-support docket, the custodial parent will have gone to social services and paid a nominal fee to ask for enforcement services. Then what they have to do is provide a whole lot of information to the social services department, who the father is, where they are, what their income is, that sort of thing, where they've worked. Then the department will go about either establishing child support if they haven't ever had a child support order before, or will go about setting up a contempt citation. Contempt citations are probably the worst thing that a person can face, although with our model court we've tried to turn it into more of a helping court if we possibly can, so that we avoid sanctions if we can. We do everything we can possibly do to help somebody find employment, get employment, keep employment, so that they can move forward with not only meeting the obligations towards their child, but just keeping body and soul together. Frequently, the people that we're seeing have more than one child, have more than one child support order, so we try to coordinate all of those things and spread the money as far as we possibly can and help people get better jobs if they can, help them get into training programs or anything else that can help. Some people simply choose not to pay and they find themselves in jail. Every child support payment that is missed becomes a judgment. Every single one of those can be enforced in a separate contempt citation, and the court can impose up to 6 months consecutively for each of those missed payments. So a person could end up spending the rest of their lives in jail if they choose not to pay child support. We don't do that most of the time. We really try to help people find employment, give them work release options, give them home detention options, anything where they show that they're making an effort to try to meet their basic obligation to their children. We know that the child support guidelines as they're currently set don't even come close to paying the costs that are associated with raising a child, housing and food and some degree of clothing and entertainment for their children. And lots of people don't understand that when they're looking at how much they have to pay for child support. But if you are actually the custodial parent, you know how much money is going out the door all the time for your child because it's just constant. When a contempt citation is brought, frequently there are a lot of difficulties that a non-custodial parent has had with employment or other kinds of problems. Lots of our clients have bad criminal histories, so that those have been bars to employment. They may have some serious educational deficits, and some of them have substance and alcohol problems that have impacted their ability to work. Lots of them have medical issues, some have disability issues. Each one of those has a system that's supposed to respond to help them. We have a lot of specialists in each of those areas that will help those people access the systems. We have people that will help with Social Security disability issues, and those can take a really long time to get resolved. We have people that help with the mental health issues. We have people that make referrals for the drug and alcohol treatment. Basically, the motivation has to come from the individual that they really do want to get better. But we do everything we can possibly do to encourage that, including we have fatherhood programs that actually work for mothers as well, where people who are non-custodial parents have not been able to have contact. We can refer them to mediation services. We have been able to put them in some other kinds of counseling and help them a lot in terms of having access to their children. When parents have access to children, they're much more likely to pay their child support because they see what a difference it makes in that particular child's life. Colorado isn't what we call a pay-to-play state. Child support and visitation aren't connected in any way, but they are, I think, subtly connected in everyone's mind. Everybody knows that a child has to eat whether or not they're seeing a particular parent. But It makes it much more real if you know that you're the one that has helped make sure that they were getting appropriate nutrition. If you're the one that sees them wear the clothes that you helped purchase for them. If you're the one that sees the homework or the drawings or that kind of thing for which you purchase the school supplies. We think it's really important to children that they have access to both parents. There is a reason why people have two parents. Sometimes it is just unmanageable for one person, particularly in adolescence. Sometimes they can really wear you down, and it's nice to be able to tag off saying no. But other times I think it is just a matter of being able to have somebody else's input, somebody else's thought, somebody else's experience looking at it. When children are brand new, they cry a lot. There isn't a lot of sleep that people get. It's much easier if there are two sets of hands. It's better even if there are four sets of hands, if people get along well with in-laws and grandparents, that as many hands as possible. There can't be too many people available to love your child. Everybody wants to be able to do more for their children. Our goal for all of our children is for them to be better than we are, to be better off, to be better educated, to have more, and to be more comfortable and happier than we are and more productive than we are. We provide the services that we can to bolster people, and when we see gaps, we go out seeking new programs and new systems to help us with those gaps. We have some difficulties sometimes with accessing monies. Many of the things that are required by law in terms of income assignments and payment of child support through family support registries have come about because of federal laws that have required those kinds of things to be done. Because from the very top down, we see how important it is to children for child support to be paid. Bottom line is that we want to do everything we can do to assist you to make your child support payments. We have the tools to compel you to make those child support payments, but we much prefer to assist you because it lifts the entire community up. On the days that we do child support enforcement cases, frequently it looks somewhat like a cattle call because there are so many people in the courtroom. And people come in with expectations about what it is that's going to happen. They talk to the attorneys, they talk to the technicians, then they get their case called. And sometimes what happens is they'll talk to the technician who will say they're recommending a particular sanction or recommending a particular thing happen, and then they will disappear. We've had people leave the courtroom because they didn't like what was going to happen or believed that we were just here to rubber stamp. That's not my job. My job is to listen to each case, to listen to what the department has to tell me, what the technician may be saying about what's happened, listen to what the custodial parent may have to say, and listen to the non-custodial parent as to why did we get here and what do I need to do to help resolve the situation, because ultimately that's my job. If my job is simply to sanction people, then that's what I will do all day long, every day, and I will see the same people over and over and over again. Punishing doesn't help. What helps is to get people the resources that they need so that they can meet their obligations. Frequently, I have custodial parents saying, please do not put them in jail. They are a wonderful parent. I need them. I need their help. Please don't do that, but please help them. Please get them these other resources. I've had custodial parents ask me if they can take advantage of the same classes and programs that we've given to non-custodial parents because they also need the assistance to get better jobs, to get more training, to learn how to interact better with their children. So we have a lot of people who are asking us for help. But if you don't come to court, you can't figure that out. And it is a different model. On television, most of the cases that are depicted are criminal cases, and so it's a matter of finding and convicting and punishing someone. That's not the model on which child support enforcement works. Most of our job is to civilly and respectfully resolve conflicts and help people with their problems. Lots of times we can access resources or know of resources that people don't know about otherwise or can't have access to. Coming into a child support enforcement case isn't always awful. Usually there's a problem, usually there's a debt, usually we have some things that we have to work on. We're a problem-solving court. We look at resolving situations, making sure that people have the resources that they need so that they can go along living their lives without further intervention from the government. We know that we can solve, we know that we can help. We've had individuals who have horrible criminal records, who have had difficulty finding jobs, and we have some very wonderful specialists who have found companies who will hire people with criminal records, with serious criminal records, and give them jobs that pay well so that they can move on. And once they have a working environment, a period of time that they've had steady employment, the next employer is more willing to take a chance on them because they have a good work history. So we really have had some big, big successes. The places where we have the most difficulty, I think, are with the very youngest of our parents, because they get so far behind at the very beginning. Children cost a lot of money. Expensive packages of diapers cost $25. Well, when people don't work and their minimum child support payment is set at $50, that's not going very far towards helping that child. The other part of it is that when you are very young and can't find work, or even when you're a little bit older and have not the best of jobs, having another little person coming along, they cost thousands of dollars. My best advice to young people is to wait. Wait until you're ready to actually give the time and have the background so that you can have a good job. You can work 3 jobs full-time, but then you never have time with your child. When I talk to you about waiting, what I'm really saying is I want you to think. You have to be responsible every time. Wait and think about the consequences of your actions and how long. These are 21-year commitments, 40-year commitments, permanent commitments that you're making. And it's very, very, very important that you think beyond the moment. Think beyond right now. Think beyond Friday night.
My name is Juan Marquez Martinez, and I am a student athlete at John F. Kennedy High School. The best day of my life is the day my son was born. It started out rough for the first 9 months, really, really rough, especially coming back from my childhood. I had an alcoholic that be abusive at the time when he would drink. Knowing that your dad would drink and hoping he wouldn't go over the limit. I'm telling you this now because as being a father, it's just hard to know what to do because you had a bad influence, you know. I'm not saying my dad was a terrible, terrible man. He was a good man. He was a hard worker, you know. He had to drop out of high school just to support us. That day my son was born, I was scared. I was really, really scared. As soon as he was born, I thought to myself, am I going to be a good father? Is Alita going to be a good mother? By the way, it's my baby's mama. We both did come from a bad childhood. Her mom's an alcoholic too. Financially, yeah, we'll struggle, but it's more mentality that we need to change. Come to school, you know, working for education, you know, trying to graduate, get a diploma. But at the same time, I was doing football. Football was encouraging me to keep going. I'm halfway there to graduating. My son's here, and it's hard knowing that your last senior year, you can't compete with others. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. I did not plan a baby for at least till my 40s. From my freshman year to a senior year, 9 months in pregnancy, you can already feel the difference. It just made me feel that I gotta be careful for anything I do. Are we gonna get married? Am I gonna fall through the same mistake that my parents did? You know, divorcing each other after not spending time together. I'm scared to make the same mistake my parents did. She's struggling to know what she wants as much as I am. I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want to marry her to do it the right way. But I do feel like I'm young, too young to get married, you know. I already have enough responsibilities to take care of. She could leave with my son, find somebody else that will be there, you know, to be there for her. I wouldn't want to look forward in 2 years and see my son calling somebody else dad. What am I going to do? It's scary, you know, it's just like, she's on Medicaid, you know, and that's what's helping us a lot. I got to know that it's not going to be there for long. She's going to get older, and there's going to be a lot of things he needs. It's money, 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 money everywhere. Every day there's always a problem with money. And I grew up not knowing much about money because my parents both tried to keep me out of that. It was none of my business. But as I got older, everyone started settling their accounts, settling their future financial plan. Unlike me, I'm not prepared financially. It's not what you want anymore. It's not what I want anymore. It's not what she wants. It's what he needs. Right now, what I need is my tuition cost for school, so I can give my son a good education and a good home, a good life. I'm struggling, and it's only gonna get worse. My typical day before I was a father is hanging out with my friends, you know, going out almost every weekend and go to parties, you know. And now you don't have a choice, you know, leaving your son or being with your son. It's go to school exhausted, really exhausted, knowing that you won't have a break there. A 10-minute passing period would do just fine. Struggling to stay awake, paying attention, and then after school you have to head straight home, or go to your job, start working. You do what you gotta do, you know. Do what you gotta do to maintain a family, you know. To be honest, I would rather be with my son now. Knowing that he's your blood, you know, knowing that he's a part of you, just makes me think that I don't want to let this go. The thing that I miss is after school activities. It makes me feel stressful, you know. It makes me feel sometimes mad, you know. Sometimes I get angry for what's happening, you know. The thing that you need is support from your family. Because a lot of people are out there trying to be a man, dropping out of school, but what good does that do, you know? There's other people that don't have a choice though, because you see, my father, he had the same situation, but he had to drop out. He had nowhere else to go. But there's kids out there that do have choices, because it's not the same as it was back then, you know? Going to school, then going to work, then coming back home, staying up all night till 5 in the morning, listening to your son crying, not knowing what you can do to help him stop crying. I think it's a lot more challenging than just staying in school and not being able to pass a class. I heard it can cost up to $2,000 sending him to the hospital. Having the flu, to recover that, to cure that, costs a lot of money. And I'm gonna need my mom to help me pay for it. No 17-year-old is gonna come up with $2,000 or $3,000 in just 2 weeks. I'm so thankful to have my mom by my side and her parents by her side. I won't be able to do it alone. She won't be able to do it alone. I want other teens to know that it's not easy. You have to step it up. Having a kid is gonna change your life forever. Gonna change your life. One little simple thing, change everything.
Yo, what's up, Anthony? What's up, George? What's up, Richie? How's class? Man, it was not good, I'll tell you that.
Well, what are you doing tonight?
It's Anna's birthday party, that's what it is, man. She told me about that.
You know how last month was mine and Corey's anniversary, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we've been together a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, we decided to take the next step.
Like, the next step?
Yes.
That's a big decision.
I know, but I love him, and he loves me. And it just seemed like the right decision at the time. But the condom broke.
Broke?
And I didn't get my period this month.
Have you told him?
3 days ago. And he hasn't called me back. He hasn't texted me. He's just been ignoring all my calls. It's gone straight to voicemail.
Well, that's really big news for a guy to take in. I mean, you have to give him a little bit of time.
But don't you think he should take responsibility? I mean, I know he's scared, but I'm scared too. It's his baby too. It's his responsibility.
Have you told your parents?
No, they'd kick me out. They'd just kill me if I told them. I can't.
I know somebody who's going to be a parent, and they seem pretty scared about it. She hasn't been in that situation, so she doesn't know if it's going to ruin her future or not.
At first, I was shocked. Like, I didn't know if I was ready. I was just crying. Like, I didn't know how to tell anyone. Like, we were both just scared because we're always together. We always do everything together, and this is like a big separation for us because I'm gonna have to do it mostly on my own because it's my baby.
I'm gonna help her for whatever she needs.
Do you feel it's kind of your responsibility too, being a sibling?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard, really, really hard.
And it changes a lot.
There goes like most of my teen life. Like, I can't go like to more places that I want to, like parties and stuff, like with friends. I haven't told my mom yet because I don't live with her, but she should be coming like this week. I'm gonna tell her. She's gonna take it really hard.
Her situation, did it allow you to have second thoughts about having boyfriends and stuff like that?
I learned from her situation. Like, it's not bad, but
It's just difficult.
it's hard.
Yeah.
She's been through a lot just this whole month.
Should have waited a little longer because it'll be much easier to like go to college and start a career if you don't have a family yet and just wait. But yeah, it happened, so I'm gonna have to get through it. Think about it first, and because it's a lot of responsibility and like it changes your life forever.
You gotta make smart choices.
And why should they think beyond Friday night?
Just that Friday night could lead on to changing your whole life.
Single mother, she don't have no one to help her except the family. Working 2 jobs just to support her and her daughter.
I went through summer school with her. She was coming in every day tired. She was walking in late. So basically with plans for military, I'm not planning for any kids anytime soon. I love babysitting them, but I don't want any of my own. Not yet. Not ready.
What do you think about teen pregnancy?
Teen pregnancy?
Condom.
Condoms.
Birth control. There's things out there to prevent it. That's what I think.
And I think it happens too often. Like, there's a lot of pregnant girls here. Basically, we ruin their life because they don't get to go out anymore. Babies raising babies. They're wasting their pretty years.
Mother, I think, takes a lot of responsibility, and especially being a teen mother, I think it's important to continue your educations.
I don't think that I would ever want to be a teen parent. I mean, I can't do all the college stuff that I'm doing now if I had a baby. I know that is the last thing that I ever want to do at this moment.
Yeah, I ain't got time to have no kids right now. I'm trying to go to Syracuse and get that #1 jersey for basketball. So kids is out here tripping right now, man.
First, I was in shock. I denied it. I did not plan a baby, for at least till my 40s. I plan on being an engineer at first, after graduating high school. Real teenager, you know, a normal teenager you see out there. That day my son was born, I was scared. I was really, really scared how I was going to raise my son. As soon as he was born, I thought to myself, am I going to be a good father? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? I'm 17, haven't graduated yet, haven't found a job yet, but we're living under my mom, her rules, and it's getting irritating already. I didn't really have a choice. Either I find a job or play basketball and won't be able to maintain and keep my family with me. It's hard knowing that your last senior year, you can't compete with others, so you have to make a lot of sacrifices, lots and lots of sacrifices. She's struggling to know what she wants as much as I am. I don't know what I want. I don't know if I want to marry her to do it the right way. But I do feel like I'm too young to get married, you know. I already have enough responsibilities to take care of. She's on Medicaid, you know, and that's what's helping us a lot. But I gotta know that it's not gonna be there for long. She's gonna get older. There's gonna be a lot of things she needs. It's money, 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 money everywhere. I'm not prepared financially. It's not what I want anymore. It's not what she wants. It's what he needs. I'm struggling, and it's only going to get worse. It's going to be really difficult. It scares me a lot. Can't lie, I mean, I go out there with my friends, and they'll be out there drinking, you know, and now you don't have a choice, you know? Either you make a choice on leaving your son or being with your son. Go to school exhausted, struggling to stay awake, paying attention, and then after school, you have to head straight home or go to your job. Staying up all night to 5 in the morning, listening to your son crying, not knowing what you can do to help him stop crying. I think it's a lot more challenging than just staying in school and not being able to pass a class. The hardest is changing a diaper. Changing a diaper is something I've never done before.
Money is pretty much the answer. When it comes to a baby, you need that money to do stuff. And you need that support. If you don't have that support, then everything just goes bad.
Having a baby wasn't something that I had planned on, not at this age. There really was no plan. Once the kid came, that was when, I had long term, down the road, I had planned to go to school for audio. That was down the road, Now that the kid came, as soon as I found out that the kid was coming, I knew that these things needed to happen a whole lot faster than what it was. I needed to speed things up and make them happen early. Life had to change. When you have that big of a responsibility and the love that I have for that girl, that little girl, man, it makes it a little bit harder, man. And I have a lot of homeboys that have kids. I don't want to say that they don't care, but necessarily they don't do anything to help out the child. They don't do anything and make any effort to be with the kid, make any kind of civilized relationship between significant other, baby mama, whatever. One of the dudes I've been staying with, waking them up at 8 o'clock in the morning, like, even if it's a fast food job, man, you need something right now, and you ain't doing nothing. He complains that he don't get to see his child. He don't get to see both of his kids. He broke down on his last son's first birthday because he didn't get to see him. You just basically make a phone call and expect everything to be all right. Make a phone call once every couple months and say, hey, I want to see my kids, man. So, man, you got to get up and do something about it. You got to at least have a job, be like, here's a couple $, man. Make it a little bit easier on baby mama. Taking care of a child down the road, you're gonna need money for daycare, schooling. Most of all, I'd rather have the health insurance. If you don't know where to go, it is hard. I didn't even think, man, when I wake up, I think about my daughter, man, and I think about, man, what can I do to get her back? The hardest thing about being a parent, worrying about having, not having enough necessarily, you know, not being able to provide. What if tomorrow I lose my job, you know, I lose my place, or what if, you know, she gets sick and I ain't got the health insurance to cover her, or what if, I mean, God forbid any of that stuff ever happened. The hardest part probably the money game, the money part. When I didn't have a child, there's a lot of weight off my shoulders. You know, I didn't really have much to worry about then. I've heard it all before. There's nothing really that can change your outlook, because before you have it, you don't know, man. You know, because you hear it all the time. You hear people talking about it all the time, about how you have a child, this what's gonna happen. You're gonna lose this, this, and this. But you really don't know until you have it. Once you have the child, that's when it's just like, blam, just slap to the face, like, I didn't see this coming. You only got one chance. Time ticks by every day. It's really hard to reach somebody at the age of 16, 17, especially when in their lifestyle such as partying. Thinking past Friday, man, that's a hard thing to do. Nobody ever seen me being the, you know, the careless person that I was, ever having a child, ever caring about having a child, ever staying with the chick that had the child. As soon as I found out it was legit, she was pregnant with my child, I said to myself, man, this is it. Things gotta change. Yeah, man, she eats good. She's always smiling unless she's hungry. A sense of pride, man, having her. You know, I take care of that. You know, and like she depends on me. You know, I couldn't really picture that until I actually had the kid. But man, my daughter, she's great, man. She's lovely.
Hey, being a teenager can be tough. All the expectations, rules, and many temptations can make life very complicated. And then adding the element of being a teen parent, boy, that can make it that much more difficult. If you or a friend find yourself in this position, there is help. Seriously, you're not alone. We had the opportunity to talk with a couple resources, and here's their message.
What I found that a lot of our job entails is educating people on what it really means to have a child support order. A lot of people don't realize that if you have a court order to pay child support and you're not making those monthly payments for your child or your children, there are a lot of things that can happen to you. You can have your wages garnished from your job. You can have your driver's license suspended if you don't make monthly payments. That's a big one. You can have your fishing and hunting license suspended. You can have a lien placed on your bank account where all the money in your bank account is taken and then given for the support of the child. You can even have legal action taken against you, a contempt of court filed where you find yourself in front of a judge and could end up with community service hours or home detention or even jail for not making child support payments. So a lot of our job is educating people on not only why it's important to support your children, but what can happen to you if you don't. A lot of times people just are down on their luck. They want to support their children, but they've had a hard time finding a job or keeping a job. And so a lot of what we do also is try and help break down barriers for people. We have a lot of different resources that we can use to help people job search, to help people gain visitation to their children. Some people stop paying child support because they're not allowed to see their child, and we help them break down those barriers so that they can spend the time with their child that they need to. We also have a fatherhood program that's wonderful that helps dads and moms understand their role in their child's life and why it's so important to be involved, not only financially, but also there for their children physically. Forming a relationship with them is super important as well. It's a very, very emotional situation for everyone. We're talking about situations where two people at one time liked each other enough to have a child together, but whatever happened in that relationship, they now are not together anymore, and they're very angry and upset. And help them understand that this really isn't about them and their failed relationship and how they feel about each other now. It's about this child that needs both their parents in their life financially and to love them and support them.
We have been using various techniques to try to help people pay their support, get set up, make sure that they have employment and can support their children to their fullest extent and avoid being sanctioned or jailed or penalties imposed because they didn't pay their child support.
I'm in arrears about $40,000, and most of that was due to being locked up. I had to go away to prison for a while, and all that time the monthly amount of $500 accrued. You know, they don't just stop it because you go to jail. It keeps building up. With the felony, it's even that much harder to find a job right now. And same situation, child support saying I need to pay $500 plus $100 for the arrears, 3 months consecutive, or they're going to take my license away.
She has 2 jobs, and she couldn't finish school. She got her GED, and then now she's living with her mom. It's tough on her because she probably feels alone, and she has to take care of her kid and go to those 2 jobs to support her kid. So it like switched off of her life. Now she has to take care of somebody. Her life isn't even a focus anymore. Now it's her kid.
They need to think beyond Friday night. It's a one-night thing, and it's not worth destroying your future. Like they said, it only takes one time.
She no longer comes to school anymore, and I guess her boyfriend dropped out too because he doesn't come to school anymore either. And I know he's getting a job. Both of them are living with their parents. And I know they're done with school. Going out with your friends, going to the movies without having any responsibilities like children, being able to go to dances. And the whole money thing, I guess you don't get to go shopping on regular clothes, and you don't get to buy stuff for you anymore. It's all about that baby. And you have to spend all your time preparing for it, and then after, all your time taking care of it. Me being an athlete, that would change my whole life. Think ahead, I guess. It's not just about today. Don't live just for today. You always got to plan for the future, to think beyond Friday night, because it may be fun for the night, but it could change everything. Your whole lifestyle could go way out the window.
I want other teens to know that it's not easy. Having a kid is going to change your life forever. Be financially prepared before bringing a son ever into this world. Bringing a kid ever into this world is what I could say. Think beyond Friday night, Saturday night. Make the right choice.